guys, it's Courtney King here with King Realty and Management. I hope you guys are having a great week. Happy Hump Day. Today, before we get started, I wanted to make sure I direct you to our website, which is kingrealtytx.com. We help investors, homeowners, and buyers in both the Houston and the DFW markets. So we are here to help. Today, I really wanted to continue our series to help sellers. So whether that be you or somebody that you know that's contemplating selling their home, this is for you. And I never thought that I would actually have to do a video on this, but nobody's really talking about it. And I experienced something that really, I guess, spawned this video. So long story short, when you sell your home, there are some must-dos before you have a showing at your property, and then also after the showing. So by this time, if you are contemplating the sale of your property, you're talking to brokers like me, we're going through the numbers, we're understanding each other, we're understanding, for example, you as the seller, what you want to accomplish in the sale, and then we're setting up a marketing strategy to get you to that goal. So that's kind of what we would have to do before we got to this point. But let's say the house is listed right now and showings are about to begin. I've got some things that you want to do before the showing and after each of the showings that's going to help you, and I'll fill you in on a little weird situation. Hopefully it'll help you if you're selling your home. So before the showing, some of this is kind of common sense, but I'm going to repeat it because not everybody thinks it's important, but it is. First impressions are lasting impressions, okay? So if a buyer sees your house online, they want to schedule the showing. Half the battle is done. Now it falls on you to make sure the house is ready. So number one, make sure that before you leave the house, on the day of the showing, that all the lights are turned on. It's one less thing that the agent's gonna have to do, especially if you have like a smart house, and messing with the lights is a little bit challenging. But also it's going to provide that much more of a better feel when a buyer walks into the house. All the lights are on, the blinds are open, it looks bright, and it looks like you're ready for the showing. The second thing is make sure everything is tidied up. Now I know you're thinking, especially my folks that are parents out there, you're like, I got 3 kids, how the heck am I going to make sure this is tidy and I only get an hour notice, okay? So let's talk a little bit about that. How you do this is, making sure that everything has its place to the best of your ability. So let's say you clear off the kitchen counters. You just put everything away in your cabinet or in your pantry. Let's say you clear off the bathroom counters. All of those things are going to help you when it comes to just making a really awesome first impression. So those are the main things before the showing, okay? Anytime I have a house listed for sale, I also provide an additional set of showing instructions to all of the other agents outside my company that are actually showing the property. So these include making sure that I remind them to turn off the lights before they leave, make sure that I remind them to lock all doors before they leave. Of course, I can do all that I can to remind them, but whether or not it gets done is a whole nother story. So let's say the showing happens. Let's talk about the checklist, the to-dos for you as a seller after the showing, okay? A lot of this is assuming that you occupy the property. If you don't occupy the property, then it's understandable. Maybe you don't turn all the lights on. That's okay. It's not gonna make or break. But just making sure that it's tidy is important. After the showings, especially if you occupy the property, number one, you want to make sure you go through the house and just turn off the lights if the agent did not turn them off when they left, okay? You're going to want to make sure that your doors are locked and closed properly. The one thing that I never thought I would have to say brings me to my example. I've got this house listed for sale in Arlington right now. Great house, beautiful, awesome gated community. Somebody, I don't know if it was the agent or a prospective buyer, actually turned the gas grill on. It's a built-in gas grill in the backyard. They turned it on and they left it on. So my client got home and thank God, she actually decided to check it and she turned it off. But imagine if your property is vacant, or if you just don't check after a showing, that gas could have been running. And lucky for us, it was outside, it wasn't inside. But no matter how many times you tell in the showing instructions to turn off lights, don't touch the thermostat, and this, that, and the other, there's not 100% guarantee unless you check these things. So if you have things like a gas grill, stuff like that, you're going to want to make sure you check it just in case, to make sure it's turned completely off. You want to make sure you adjust your thermostat. So I didn't really cover this before, but I mean, it's kind of assumed that you're maintaining the inside of the house at a good, comfortable temperature. If that temperature is higher than what most people feel is comfortable, then maybe you turn it down before the showing, and then after the showing, you put it back to where you want it to be. A lot of people have these smart thermostats, so you're able to control it with your phone. So if that's you, then that's pretty easy, but add it to your checklist after the showing. And then last but not least, just make sure that before you have people come by your house to view it, that any valuables are stored. I forgot to mention that. But then after, just make sure that those valuables are still stored where you left off. Last but not least, on all of my listings, especially the occupied ones, I use a digital lockbox. That is called a super box, and that allows us to track who's coming in and out. It allows us to set certain restrictions on the showing. It's just one level of additional security for my clients. So if anything does happen where, you know, something's off, the gas is left on, or just something is not quite right, I can go in there, I can read the key box, and I can reach out to the agent that was last in there. So hope this is helpful. It's really important that you're just prepared. I mean, not only for the actual listing and the professional photographers and stuff like that, but even during the process, making sure that you use these steps, this checklist, to help you have a great sales experience, because I know it can be crazy, but it doesn't have to. So that's why I'm bringing you these tips. If you are even on the fence about selling your home and just want the numbers, I'm happy to run those numbers. There's no obligation. I'm not going to hound you, but more, I want to be a resource to you. Visit us online at kingrealtytx.com. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/kingrealtytx. Facebook, you're here, which is facebook.com/King Realty and Management, all spelled out. And then we're on Instagram. We got a lot of great things on Instagram. It's at King Realty DFW and at King Realty HTX. If you want to follow us on Instagram, I totally appreciate it. And then you can also DM us if you need anything. So hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Stay cool. I know we're in that Texas heat right now. And I will see you next week for a continuation of the Seller Series. Talk to you later.